Hi everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video, I am here to show you all of the fantasy books that I want to start. After turning around all of my unread books, I was forced to confront my TBR pile head on. And boy, do we have a lot of work to do. But there are so many amazing fantasy series that I own that are just waiting for me to dive into, you're waiting for me to dive into, that I really want to focus on, hone in on my priorities, and stop pushing back these epic fantasy series that are literally gathering dust on my bookshelves. Before I begin, if you want to follow my reading journey and watch me color back in my shelves, be sure to subscribe. I upload videos every single week. Now, I do have a series that is in my Medieval-thon TBR for May that I am hoping to get to by the end of the month. That would be in this video, but I don't think I'm going to mention it here because I will be wrapping it up in my next wrap-up. You know what? I'll show you really quick. The Emperor's Blades, which I will be getting to before the month is over. But like I said, I'll be talking about it in my May wrap-up, so be on the lookout for that. Another reason to subscribe. Okay, so officially first, I am just going to rip that band-aid right off. Malice by John Gwynne. I am embarrassed to be mentioning this yet again. This has been a running joke on my channel since early last year, and that joke deserves to die a painful death. Trust me, I want to read this so bad, but I think I know why I keep putting it off. I'm afraid it's going to take me a really long time to read. And this joke is so popular amongst you guys that you keep throwing out the words, "It's slow, but it's amazing." And for me personally, when I hear the word slow describing a book, it makes me a little nervous. So I'm putting all the blame on you is what I'm saying. I just feel like I need to not be in the middle of a bunch of other series so that I can give this my full attention, my full time, but at this point they're all just a bunch of excuses. Anyways, the story takes place within the Banished Lands, where the kingdoms there share a very violent and bloody history where there's wars between men, giants, and monsters. Well, the war has ended. Sounds like a recipe for a very delicious fantasy, and also the books all together look absolutely gorgeous. And can you imagine, the books are in this corner and just having them flipped would be so freaking satisfying. Probably the most satisfying flipping of books on my channel ever. The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Yep, I have finally finished the current Mistborn books, and now I can finally go on to the rest of the Cosmere universe by picking up this beast. 2020 definitely seems like the year of Brandon Sanderson for me, and honestly, I'm not intimidated at all anymore to pick this up. I feel like the more books you read by Brandon Sanderson, the less scary the books become because you already know his writing style. It's very easy and fluid to read. All of his books are page turners. I just know it's going to be action-packed, and this book that's over 1,000 pages does not seem scary at all to me anymore, which is why it's on this list, because I really want to pick it up in the near future. The 4th book is coming out very soon, so I think it's a great time to finally pick up The Way of Kings. So hopefully before the year ends, I will have finally read The Way of Kings. In fact, I am so serious about this that I have it written on my whiteboard. That's how serious I am. Also, I've just been in such a reading mood recently because of Medieval-a-thon, and I'm just really excited about all the big unread epic fantasies that I have on my list, and you just can't mention big fantasies without mentioning this book. And the next fantasy series I really want to read is the Powder Mage Trilogy by Brian McClellan, the first one being A Promise of Blood. There's definitely a trend here on this list of very large epic fantasies, and I would not have it any other way. I actually own hardcovers of this entire series, including the companion series that is set in the same world, and it is so sad to see them flipped like this on my bookshelves. I want to read them and I want to flip them. So to be more specific, this is a flintlock fantasy, which means that it takes place within the cusp of industrialization, which means there's guns, probably a bit of a military theme to it, which I love. That kind of stuff gets me excited. I do absolutely adore Western fantasy, which is kind of in the same realm a little bit. I have read one book by this author, which was Uncanny Collateral, and I ended up giving that book 3 stars. It was an urban fantasy, it was really short, but I truly think that this is where his writing will shine for me, so I'm really excited to get to it. I also really want to read Battle Mage by Stephen Aryan. I have been wanting to pick this book up for years, even longer than I've been wanting to pick up Malice. I bought this book when it first came out, when I heard no one talking about it. It is a lot more popular now because there's a second series within the same universe, so a lot of people know about it. But still, I love this cheesy cover, and I feel like if I just pick it up, I will fly through it. In fact, I think, no. I will 100% include this in my June TBR, and I will be reading it in June. Yes, that's the plan. I already have plans for my June TBR, and I know you guys are going to be really excited for it. There's something specific that I am going to do, but this will 100% be in that video. I'm going to do it finally. So in the story, you are following a few characters who are waging war against a psychotic emperor who is driven insane by an ancient object that was given to him by an evil warlock. It just has that super classic fantasy plot to it, and I am here for it. By the way, this series is right here. That's going to be satisfying to flip. The next series I have here is going to make a lot of you happy because a lot of you have mentioned that I should pick this up. Well, I'm going to. Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. It's actually really hard to talk about all of these books because they are all so popular already and a lot of you already know what they're about. But I do have big plans for this author. I think it would be so fun to just binge read all of his books, including the other series that he has that just completed. So this series is completed. The Age of Empire series, what is it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's behind me, is also completed. The final book just came out this month. So like, it's the perfect time to jump on this hype train. So in this book, we are following two men. They are literally partners in crime and they take contracts with nobility to steal and spy and other things like that. They're pretty much thieves for hire, aka mercenaries for hire, which is one of my buzzwords. So because of that, I truly think this series is going to find a nice little home within my heart. A lot of my friends actually gave this like 3 stars, but because they don't love mercenaries as much as I do, and also quest plots as well, and like thievery and getting contracts and stuff, I think I'm going to love this. This next book is Nevernight by J. Kristoff. Yep. That's right. I have never read a J. Kristoff book, but I feel like that kind of leans in to my favor because starting with his adult series is probably going to be the best move for me. This is the start to a very beloved hyped fantasy series that is now completed, so bingeable for me. I'm going to explain this book really quick. We're following Mia, who is the daughter of an executed traitor, and she joins a school of assassins to basically seek vengeance on the powers who destroyed her family. Most people love this book. Some people hate it, so I'm really curious, where will I stand? The hype surrounding the series is absolutely insane, so my expectations for it are like 420 level, so freaking high. This is definitely high up on my TBR actually. I plan to pick it up either July or August or even sooner, we will see. Actually, I kind of want the series to be the next series I pick up after Battle Mage, but my mood might change. We'll see. You know what? I'm actually going to mention one more series that really stands out to me so much, and that is the Night Angel Trilogy by Brent Weeks. The first book being The Way of Shadows, which I'd say is kind of similar to Nevernight, only because of the assassin theme. This is the special black edition, which is so freaking dark you can't even see the fonts, which actually really bothers me. I kind of wish the font was at least like silver or something so that you could actually see it on your shelf. This thing is like a Velta black brick sitting on your shelf. I personally think this series is going to be really good for me. We're following a very young boy named Azoth who lives in the poor district of his city, and he's part of a gang which is run by a horrible creature named Rat. I think that sounds cool. I don't know if you can see the dust on this. Oh, you can kind of. That's pretty bad. Alrighty, so those are all the fantasy series that I am highly anticipating to pick up, maybe before the year ends, but I would at least say within the next 12 months. Because a lot of these books are very large and some of the series are very long, but I really want to start focusing on them. My goal is to prioritize these really big epic fantasies that are really popular and probably read like short standalones, maybe even like YA, just to break up the complexity, but my goal is to focus on these books. We'll see how far I get. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up because it helps me out so much. Go ahead and subscribe. We upload videos every single week. Follow me on Instagram at Holly Hearts Books and on Twitter at Holly Niece. And until we meet again, happy reading.